What's everybody? Ooh, I can't talk. I'm not gonna edit that. What's going on, everybody? It's me, James from Alchemy Fit. I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm recording this on New Year's Eve. Yeah, New Year's Eve, big day, right? Woohoo, party time. It used to be party time for me, but in this day and age, don't party anymore. So the past few years, especially with New Year's Eve, has been a very reflective evening for me. I think about the things I accomplished and throughout the year. And really all of December is a very reflective period for me. But New Year's Eve especially has that just feel to it. I look back at everything that went down, the highs, the lows, everything in between. And, I just look at, I look forward, I look at the next year, I look at the next day and think, all right, well, what am I going to do this year? And so that was what I wanted to talk about with Charlotte's here. She's over here taking a nap. You gonna say hi, Charlotte? You gonna say hi? I need to take a drink here. But what I wanted to talk about today is mental health. Yes, mental health. So at this point in time in the fitness industry, it's like the Super Bowl for personal trainers, fitness influencers, whatever you want to call yourself. The gyms all over the place are really, this is when they pack up. Everybody wants to feel good and look better and so forth. Hashtag new year, new me. We've all said it. I think we've all done it. Heck, I think I did it one or two times myself. So, I I don't really care for that hashtag or that saying, but it is what it is. So when you think about all that stuff and when you see it, it's all geared towards, at least in my observation, the physical aspect of being human, our physical health, how we look and how we feel, so forth physically, which is fine, great. But in all of that, I've noticed and seen that we tend to gloss over the mental health aspect of things. And in my experience, you need to focus on that first to really make everything else go the way that you want it to go, or at least to the best of your abilities. And what I'm going to do is share my mental health journey, because we're all on a mental health journey, we're all on a fitness journey. And I'm going to take it back 2 years to 2023. I'm a little too far here. I'm going to bring this into the fold. All right, there's the painting right there. That's Charlotte. Charlotte, say hi to everybody. No? You don't want to say hi? She naps these days. Charlotte is here in 2026. She's going to turn 11 years old, or maybe 12. I don't know. I'm not going to do the math right now on that, but she's just enjoying her nap time. Rough life, right? So going back to it, I think I digressed. Mental health is very crucial, obviously, for a lot of different things. For a lot of us, we all battle with it. We all, we can struggle with it, we can succeed with it, and so forth. But much like our physical health, it is something that really requires to be sharpened like a knife. When I go to the gym, when I do cardio, when I lift, I'm trying to keep my body, my physical body, in shape. I'm trying to make it better and so forth. Well, our mental health, in my opinion, is no different. So back in 2023, when I gave up alcohol, that was a seismic shift in my mental health across the board. It was something that I'd been thinking about for a while. March 27th, I went sober from alcohol. Been sober since. Haven't messed up at all. But the clarity that I got from it was astounding. It felt like, when you're buzzed off a beer, or in my case, 12 beers. Yeah, I could drink. It was a good feeling. It was like, oh man, I feel great. I feel, I can say what I want. All that bullshit. Pardon my French. Well, the clarity that I got, at least in my case, from sobriety, from alcohol, has been very similar to like having a buzz, but it's called clarity. And it's 24/7. It feels better. It doesn't go away. And it's just one of those honest feelings that you have with yourself. So through 2023 to 2024, it was me adjusting to all of that, knowing, seeing how I was communicating better with just myself, but also my family, my friends, and just strangers in general. So I really in 2024 practiced with that. I learned a lot about myself at that point in time. But then 2025 comes around, the beginning of 2025, January, early this year. And there was a few days in which, and we all have our bad days, we all have our bad moments. And there was a few days where my emotions weren't quite in check. I wasn't paying attention to them. And one morning I had a very regretful incident with someone in which I said some things that were pretty bad. I won't get into it, but I hurt this person. I hurt them badly. And I knew instantly that I made a very massive mistake with my outburst. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And at that same time, I found out that person, how much they really meant to me when I could hear the hurt in their voice. And so when you see that and when you hear that, but most of all, when you are aware of it, it hits differently. We've all been there, all of us, I think, and, I told this person, it's not going to happen again. Famous last words. It's never going to happen again. However, that day, I meant that. I'm not saying that I lied before or anything like that. Those are words I don't say too often. It's never going to happen again. Hear the dogs barking. So on that day, on that evening, when that incident happened, I found an app called BetterHelp. Now, for the record, I don't work for BetterHelp. I don't have a promo code. Yeah, I'm a fitness dude without a promo code. Go figure. But I remember hearing about the BetterHelp app through a podcast I listened to called the Fantasy Footballers. Shout out to those guys that helped me win a fantasy championship. I'm digressing again. But I got on the app, I found it, I filled out the questionnaire through the BetterHelp app, and it was really easy. It matched up. It matched me up with a you answer the questionnaire, you talk about what's bothering you, what are you wanting to work on, this and that. And so filled out the questionnaire within maybe less than 30 seconds, kind of give it a rough estimate. It matched me up with a therapist. I said, all right. Matched me up with his therapist. His name was Chris. Shout out to Chris. And the following week, had my first teletherapy session with Chris. Haven't missed a week since. And I hadn't done therapy like that since I was 18 years old. When I was 18 years old, I had a very kind of much like I did earlier this year. I really didn't have a good grasp on my emotions, how to handle my emotions, how to communicate when I'm in a very emotional state. And so in working with Chris, now you want to wake up, Charlotte. In working with Chris, especially that week, we really discussed what went down, what brought me there. But it really opened up to my eyes on the power of therapy and talking to somebody that is a third party. And, when you do talk to someone, and I'm not saying don't talk to your family, your friends, or anybody about mental health or anything like that. Do talk to them, please do. But it's a different feeling when you're talking to someone who's trained in this properly. Because this person doesn't know you from Adam or Eve. And they're listening to you. That's their job. At least that should be their job. And I was really, on the first session, really impressed with how my therapist was able to just really convey and listen to what I was telling him. And it helped open my eyes to a lot of different things, especially on that first session. And so I haven't missed a week since because it's just, now it's become a part of my lifestyle. But in the process of going through therapy, you really identify problems and the insecurities that you have that, at least in my case, I kind of knew were always there, but I couldn't quite pinpoint it. And therapy really opened up the can of worms. It opened up Pandora's box, but in the best way possible. My therapy sessions, in totality, really helped me come to grasp on some things through the past that happened to me that I really didn't think were a big deal, but did. I know we like to use the word trauma a lot, and much like everybody, we all got trauma in our lives. That's to be human is to endure trauma. But I really opened up a lot to the trauma that I have faced, and why and how it helped shaped who I am as a person, for better and worse. And we focused a lot on the better and not necessarily the worst, because when you focused on the better, at least with me, it made me look at the worst aspects of what it caused and go, well, that's too bad, but life goes on. I have to get better. I have to move on from that. And so there, with therapy, this whole year 2025 of just really reflecting back on that, I can't say enough about what therapy helped, how much therapy has helped me out with my communication, with my emotional state. I was training a client earlier, and I mentioned to him, you want to make the best decisions with a clear head. You don't want to make too many emotional decisions. And we've all done it. We made an impulsive decision based on our emotional state, whether it was we were really happy. I made a lot of decisions because I was in a good mood. That's how, in some ways, I developed my relationship with alcohol. Got bad because when I got really happy, I was like, man, it's a good day. Let's go celebrate with some booze. Margaritas at Chimmy's or wherever I was at. That's how that started. Well, at least got worse for me. But also when I was sad, if I was angry or sad, same thing. Go drown my sorrows, if you will. And, it was in therapy, I turn this way, I'm thinking about it, if you haven't figured out my toe. But I really learned a lot about why I did that stuff, and it was a very, and still is a very cathartic process. And not every session that I have with my therapist leads to a breakthrough. It's not like that, at least for me. You got some weeks where it's pretty basic conversation. How was your week? How was your day? How did that make you feel? So forth. And at the end of the session, you sign up, for another session. And that's it. There are other sessions, though, where you really break through on something. Something just cracks, and you're like, holy shit, I never thought of it that way. And those sessions are where I really walk away with a new sense of self, or a piece of myself that helps me understand who I am as a person, who I am as a son, a brother, a friend, a business person, so on, etc. And man, I can't say enough about therapy and what it's done for me. And so I guess this is the part where I shifted towards you. If you're watching this, and I appreciate if you are watching this, when it comes to your new year, new me, do not forget your mental health. Don't forget it. Because of that, if your body is in great shape, wonderful. But do not forget your mind, because if your mind goes astray, and if you're not taking care of your mind, if you're not taking care of your mental health, getting the reps in with talking to someone, reading, writing, doing stuff for you that helps better your mental health, then that can affect your physical aspect, from cortisol gain to just developing bad habits, smoking, going back to drinking, so forth. And throughout the bad days in 2025 that I've had, and I have bad days here and there, and I'll keep it transparent, but there's been a few moments where I was like, a Chimmy's margarita could really hit the spot right now. However, I knew that it wouldn't hit the spot ultimately. It would just make the spot worse. I'd be worse off if I had that margarita, ruin my sobriety, ruin progress, and I don't want to ruin that progress. So a lot of you right now are getting ready to start over into 2026, as you should. But I implore you to think to why you're going to the gym, to lose body fat, increase your muscle gain, better your endurance. Do not forget to invest in your mental health. Now, with that being said, let's get to the I guess, part of the meat and potatoes. Yes, it's an investment. I pay $80 a week for BetterHelp. Yeah, it's cost me money, a little over 300 a month. But has it been worth it? Absolutely, it has. It's been totally worth it. Now, I'm not saying to go and buy this app. I'm not affiliated with them. Once again, I don't got a promo code. But go out in your community online and search for something that is perhaps for you and affordable for you. You can go see your psychiatrist, your therapist twice a month, every 2 weeks, whatever you want to do. Usually they're going to fit your schedule. And I really, ever since, this year especially, I put myself physically and mentally through a lot of stuff to see where I'm at, to redefine my prime. Ran a half marathon officially. I ran a few of those distances this year to just push myself mentally. And the stuff that I went through mentally, physically, I don't think I could have done it if I didn't put forth the work towards my mental health. And in discovering the grit that's in here, that's in you, and so forth. Don't take yourself for granted. Well, one, don't take anybody for granted. Two, don't take yourself for granted. You'd be amazed at what you can do by simply asking a question, or the classic question of, what if? It's a powerful question. And when you ask yourself that question, you don't know what can come from it. Good, bad, whatever. But when you can ask those questions, things will follow, and you may want to follow through with these things, whether it's a challenge to yourself, a challenge from others, and so forth. But when you're trying to answer those challenges, it's all going to come from up here and where you're at mentally. You got to take care of that. This year has been such a I was about to use the phrase roller coaster. In some parts it was a roller coaster. It was, but mainly the beginning. But once I got a good handle on what I wanted to do with my mental health, where I wanted to take it, it wasn't smooth sailing, but it was sailing. Some windy days, some calm days, and I think when I had more of the calm days, or more calmer days than there were windy days, I found that my physical prowess, my ability to go to the gym got easier. I put on muscle. Yeah, I put on some fat too, but mainly muscle. So I was pretty amazed that even at age 40 years old, I turned 41 this year, that I was able to feel as good as I am when you hit 40, most society and others, they may not be in that greatest shape. They kind of feel like they're falling apart. I don't feel like I'm falling apart. I feel like I'm getting better. Now, how much better I can feel remains to be seen. And I can't do that if I don't pay attention to my mental health. If I don't, sharpen it. You got to sharpen it. Whether it's through therapy, talking to your family, your friends, so forth. I can't say enough about what that has done. And I just wanted to share with all of y'all what therapy has done for me this year. There were moments where I thought, when I had a breakthrough, I was like, oh man, I'm done. I feel better. And there was a temptation. Maybe I should just, maybe save some money. Maybe I should just quit or something like that. Don't. Keep it up. I know life happens. You got to cut back on some things. I totally understand that. Totally do. But if you can keep doing it, if you can cut back on a cup of coffee from Starbucks, cup of coffee, food from here and all that, and dedicate a certain amount of your funds towards, we do it with our physical health, our gym memberships, our supplements, our food, so forth, our clothes. It's for my health, right? That's what we tell ourselves. We can do the same thing for therapy. So, that's what I intend to do. And I don't regret doing therapy. I know that it can be a little taboo in these days. Oh, don't admit. You're admitting you're vulnerable. We're all vulnerable, folks. We all are. It's being human. Vulnerability and humanity go hand in hand. So there's no shame in being vulnerable. There's no shame in talking to someone about your bad day, your good days, your in-between days. There's no shame in it. You'll talk to your bartender, you'll talk to your father, you'll talk to your mother, you'll talk to your sisters, you'll talk to your friends. You can talk to a therapist too. And I don't regret talking to mine. We had a session yesterday with the holidays. The schedule's been a little off. I typically try to go on Wednesdays or do it Wednesdays through, we do like a FaceTime session. Every session's been a FaceTime session for the most part. But I don't regret any of it. One of the better decisions that I made, 2023, 2024, going sober from alcohol really upped the game, really helped me out. And 2025 was just that feeling of, okay, this feels good. Now I got my mental health. What else can I do? And so that's what I'm looking forward to in 2026, to see what else I can do, what I want to, just how I want to get better. So, and with that being said, I hope that you all, do the same thing for yourselves. Go to the gym, start a new gym habit, keep consistent. Another thing, consistency. That's just been another skill that I've sharpened this year through therapy. Yeah, actually, yeah. Breakthrough. Was going to therapy really taught me about the power of consistency. So I'll let y'all chew on that nugget right there, but it is time for me to go. It's New Year's Eve. I'm gonna do something. I'll probably work on some paintings and maybe play some video games. Stranger Things is concluding tonight. I'll watch that. So, but for y'all take care of each other. Please stay safe tonight. Do not drink and drive. Make arrangements. That's why they got Uber and Lyft. Take those if you need it. Don't do anything dumb. Have fun. Don't be an emotional drinker. Oh, man. I got stories. That's for another episode. So y'all stay safe out there, please. Enjoy it. 2025, it was a year. Good, bad, and different. But 2026, it's, hey, let's see what we can make of it, right? So, Charlotte, you want to say anything? Guess not. Y'all be cool. I will see y'all down the road. Adios.